Good evening and welcome to 49 News. I'm Danielle Weinhofer.
And I'm Olivia Spinagle. Tonight we'll be covering everything going on in and around Newark, local news and some worldwide news. 49 News starts right now.
UD's English Language Institute is home to a student-led gardening initiative for the first time since 2017, thanks to the works of the ELI and the Food and Garden Policy Committee. Sophomore James Bretzker has worked to bring back all 23 garden beds. Bretzker has collaborated with faculty, students, and advisors alike to bring some color back to campus through the cultivation of a health community space. A new University of Delaware study found that LGBT plus youth in Delaware face significantly higher rates of mental health challenges and substance use compared to their peers. Surveying over 17,000 students, researchers discovered that up to 80% of LGBT plus adolescents reported recent anxiety symptoms, with alarming increases in alcohol, vaping, and drug use. Experts say schools can play a critical role in supporting these students through inclusive policies, affirming environments, and mental health resources.
University of Delaware Master's student in Fashion and Apparel Studies Emily DeLay spent her summer researching what challenges women with chronic conditions face when it comes to fashion and finding clothes that accommodate to their needs and medical equipment. She interviewed multiple women about their own personal experiences, finding that both the functional needs of these women and cost of the materials need to be considered to ensure those with chronic illness can have fashionable options that fit their needs. At the University of Delaware, a new virtual reality machine has been introduced to the communication department. This virtual reality allows students to face their fear and practice speeches in front of lectures. Charlotte Vesta has the story.
Memorial Hall's Writing Center is introducing virtual reality to improve public speaking habits. This technology will change everyone's perspective of public speaking and will be utilized through the communications department. While the equipment is still under testing, there's no estimated time to be released, although hopefully soon.
Ovation is a software and hardware that actually pairs with a VR headset exactly like this. What this software is hopeful to do here at UD, like it's done elsewhere, is reduce individuals' presentation or public speaking anxiety, because it allows you to give a presentation in virtual reality and engage with individuals in a virtual world. At the end of the presentation, the audience through ChatGPT will actually engage with you, ask you questions. Not currently accessible in the center. We just received this technology, the software and the hardware. So we're testing it internally with hopes for future semesters for it to be available through our center for any individual that may wish to use it. But then we'll also have to market that service and make it known throughout the university as well.
After my interview with Professor Gaudino regarding the virtual reality headset, I'm curious to see how the UD students will use this resource.
No, I have not been to the Writing Center yet, but I would love to try out their new virtual reality system.
I've never gone to the actual Writing Center, but I did an online thing. It was an asynchronous meeting, and it actually went really well. I got really good feedback.
I did not know that the Writing Center had a virtual reality, but I would love to try it sometime.
Most UD students seem to be excited about this new technology and the opportunities that virtual reality offers. I'm Charlotte Vesta reporting with 49 News.
Delaware officials activated the National Guard as a strong nor'easter brought heavy rain, powerful winds, and a coastal flooding to the state on October 12th through 13th. The Delaware Emergency Management Agency had urged residents to stay alert and follow local directions as the storm moved through. Shelters were opened in several coastal communities to assist residents displaced by flooding. Although the worst of the weather has passed, officials warn the hazardous coastal conditions and high water levels may persist, and residents are advised to keep alert for ongoing floods and wind warnings along the coast. This past Monday, October 13th, an airplane crashed into a Massachusetts highway. The accident resulted in the deaths of its 2 passengers, a married Rhode Island couple aged 68 and 66. The wreck may be attributed to a nor'easter storm found in the area with winds of 30 to 40 miles per hour. Thankfully, of the drivers present during the collision, none have reported serious injuries. Both state police and National Transportation Safety Board are continuing to investigate.
Iconic Philly staple Angelo's has opened in Delaware. Their cheesesteaks are now available at Wilmington Food Hall after 6 months of rumors. The cheesesteaks will be exactly as they are at the flagship location in Philadelphia. The Wilmington Food Hall is owned by popular Delaware restaurant group Bardea and is the second partnership Angelo's has partaken in, with its first being a store opening with actor Bradley Cooper. The cheesesteaks were a hit, having hour-long lines at their soft opening and their official opening the next day. A food forest consisting of fruit trees and other edible plants has been established in Folk Memorial Park. Juneberry, pawpaw trees, gooseberry bushes, bling cherry trees, and Cortland apple trees are among the fruit plants that are in this forest. Smaller food plants including blackberries, strawberries, figs, oregano, and basil can be found in the fenced-in garden area. The Wills Group, the parent company of Dashin, which is constructing a convenience store and gas station on the location of the former Roadway Inn on South College Avenue, provided all the funding for the $50,000 project. Every time the company opens a new store, it has a tradition of performing a service project in the community. Folk Park was selected due to its proximity to the Dashin's future location, which is scheduled to open in October of 2026. The University of Delaware halted classes this past Friday for Recoup Day. The idea was to give students a chance to reset and focus on self-care. Danielle Weinhofer is taking us on campus with more on this.
Recoup Day aimed to promote mental health, encourage the UD community to take a step back from daily routines and prioritize self-care. To some students, this meant catching up on sleep, spending some time outdoors, or simply taking a break from screens and stress. The university called it a chance to reset for students halfway through the semester.
At least in my experience working with students, there's a lot of pressure. So sometimes it's hard to, shut off for the day or not focus on school for the day. And sometimes those are the most important times and pieces to step away.
And according to Lawless, Recoup Day coincided with Mental Health Day in hopes to give students one day off in the fall semester that is not a federal holiday.
This is actually the first year that Recoup Day has come back after a couple years where we weren't intentionally having that day off.
And for students, that meant using the day their own way.
Well, I know a lot of people who are going home to see family, so I hope they can spend some really good time with their relatives.
For some, like Riley Grove, that extra time with family comes at a perfect moment right before midterms.
I personally find it very beneficial because as it's my first year here, I'm just a freshman. It's very difficult to immediately adapt to this, so having a little bit of a extra long break just to relax with my family for a minute before it goes in the midterms and all these tests and stuff, it's extremely helpful.
Clearly, Recoup Day is not just about having the day off, but it's about coming together as a Blue Hen community. And as we can tell, there are many activities to be had today and for students to dip their toes into.
Then the third thing that I would hope students get from this is just thinking about and exploring new ways to decompress or de-stress. You'll be seeing from us in partnership with the student centers throughout the year some unplugged events where we're really encouraging students to ditch their phones and come and be in a space that was intentionally created to be tech-free.
And while Recoup Day may be over, the message behind it continues. Take time to pause, unplug, and recharge. For 49 News, I'm Danielle Weinhofer. Banana Ball is coming to Delaware in August. The exciting non-traditional baseball league will be hosting a 3-game series at the Daniel S. Frawley Stadium in Wilmington. The series will include the 2 teams, the Tailgaters and the Loco Beach Coconuts. The game includes player dances, fan challenges, and a party atmosphere that never ends. The owner of the Blue Rocks Delaware Tourism Office announced that the series is expected to be among the most fun events to hit Wilmington in 2026. A ticket lottery is open now through October 31st. Speaking of baseball, let's take a look into sports with Ava West.
I'm Ava West with your 49 News Sports Update. Delaware football is currently facing off in a COSA matchup against Jack State, their first meeting with the Gamecocks since May 2nd, 2021, when they met in the FCS quarterfinals. Tune in to ESPN to see the Blue Hens in action. The United Soccer Coaches Association announced Tuesday that UD men's soccer is ranked in the West region for the 7th week in a row, coming in this week at 4th. They also announced that for the 6th week in a row, UD women's soccer is ranked in the South region, moving up in a regional poll. Also revealed this week, University of Delaware field hockey midfielder Sarah Wigwall and back Linda Van Leeuwen earned the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation's weekly awards. Congrats, girls. Now, on to local Philly sports. The past few weeks have been difficult to navigate as a Philly sports fan. The Phillies lost to the LA Dodgers 2-1 in Game 4 of the NLDS, ending their season. The decisive moment was when a walk-off error occurred by reliever Ryan Kirkering in the 11th inning. The Eagles suffered a shocking 34-17 loss this past Thursday night against the Giants, with it being their second loss in 5 days. The wide receivers are frustrated with their roles, and the players are even suggesting their offense is predictable. The Eagles take on the Vikings away at 1 on Sunday in need for a win. Positively on Monday, Sean Couture had 2 goals and 2 assists to help the Flyers get their first win of the season, 5-2 against the Panthers. Tomorrow, the Flyers face off at home against the Jets at 7. The Sixers announced Monday night that their trampoline dunking mascot, Hip Hop, will return during the 2025-2026 season. There is also great skepticism surrounding Embiid returning this season. However, some sources indicate the Sixers could be playoff contenders if they remain healthy. That's all the sports this week. With the season underway, UD women's ice hockey is on to the hunt to prove themselves. I have the story. On December 1st, 2023, the University of Delaware officially announced the addition of women's ice hockey as a varsity sport. After almost 2 years, the team recently made its debut, hitting the ice at the Fred Rust Ice Arena for the first time on September 26, 2025. Let's hear from Ellie Bates about the development of this new team and what she's looking forward to this season.
I am excited to see them play some of the really established teams in their conference. I think that there's a lot of mixed opinions on whether or not the team will have success like on the ice, whether or not they'll have a good record. But I think it's less about the numbers and more about like how the team develops, because they're very split between super young girls and then girls that are like grad students and seniors, transfer students. So seeing like a team develop through super challenging teams, like it'll be interesting to see just how they do, but seeing how they develop next year is going to, as opposed to this year, will be fun to see. That's like what I'm most excited for.
With the start of a new program and the season just beginning, let's talk to a few UD students to see their regards on this new women's ice hockey team at the University of Delaware.
I'm excited to see more representation for women, and especially in D1 sports.
I think I'm most excited to see women being able to be represented in the UD community more than they already are, because we do already have a men's ice hockey team, and I think this would be a great addition.
The addition of women's ice hockey at Delaware reflects a broader trend in collegiate athletics, expanding opportunities for female athletes and strengthening women's presence in traditionally male-dominated sports. It is clear the University of Delaware is looking forward to watching this women's ice hockey team flourish. From 49 News, I'm Ava West.
If you are from the Delaware area, you have heard of Winterthur's Point to Point. Point to Point is a tradition that has been hosted at Winterthur for over 40 years, featuring the steeplechase, lavish outfits, and tailgate picnics. Winterthur has announced that they will not be hosting the iconic tradition this upcoming year due to planned 75th anniversary events. The 75th anniversary events will begin in the spring and celebrate the museum's role as an educational and cultural institution in the state of Delaware. With Halloween right around the corner, it's important to remember some people aren't fans of being scared during the spooky season. There are plenty of family-friendly Halloween activities for everyone right here in Delaware. At Harrington Raceway, there is a murder mystery night where you can become a detective. If you love animals, Boo at the Zoo in Wilmington is perfect for you. There are even events for your furry friends, such as the Barktoberfest in Rehoboth Beach. Whatever you are into, Delaware has something for you this Halloween. Newark City Council is considering raising water, sewer, and electric rates along with property taxes to cover a $7 million shortfall in the 2026 budget. City Manager Tom Coleman says the changes could cost the average resident about $518 next year and help avoid staff cuts. Some council members expressed concern, while others emphasized the need for new revenue to protect city reserves. The first budget hearing is set for November 3rd, when council can vote on the proposal. Now let's welcome Mary Owens with the 49 News Political Update.
Thanks, Olivia. I'm Mary Owens, and here's what's making headlines in politics this week. In national news, the federal government remains partially closed after funding expired on October 1st, now in its third week. The Senate has tried and failed multiple times to advance a stopgap funding bill amid partisan impasse over issues like health insurance tax credits. As of October 14th, the Trump administration reported it had terminated over 4,000 federal employees. The Supreme Court began its new term with a focus on high-profile cases. The justices declined to hear conspiracy theorist Alex Jones' appeal, leaving a $1.4 billion defamation judgment against him intact. The court also heard arguments in a Louisiana redistricting case that could restrict how states use race in drawing congressional districts. The State Department revoked visas of 6 foreign nationals who posted on social media celebrating or mocking the assassination of political commentator Charlie Kirk. Many critics are raising questions about U.S. free speech boundaries. Yesterday, President Trump awarded Kirk a posthumous Medal of Honor during a White House ceremony, calling him an American patriot of the deepest conviction. Los Angeles declared a state of emergency to aid residents affected by a surge in federal immigration raids. The region has seen an aggressive crackdown since June, with National Guard troops deployed and over 5,000 people arrested under President Trump's immigration enforcement drive. Taking a look at international news, a ceasefire between Israel and Palestine went into effect on October 10th, with both parties agreeing to exchange living hostages for Palestinian detainees and return the bodies of those who did not survive. In the first few days, Hamas freed 20 living hostages, and Israel released nearly 1,900 Palestinian prisoners in turn. Some family members say they are relieved but anxious. Israel claims that one of the bodies turned over by Hamas did not match any names listed, adding to confusion to an already emotional process. Despite the truce, tensions linger. Israel has cut some humanitarian aid into Gaza and is keeping the Rafah crossing closed, citing disagreements over remains. Meanwhile, U.S. officials are pressing Hamas to prevent violence and disarm. On October 14th, the U.S. launched a strike on a vessel off Venezuela suspected of narcotics trafficking, killing 6 individuals in international water. The administration has deployed additional naval assets to the Caribbean in support of counter-drug operations. Meanwhile, officials from the Treasury and Commerce Departments cautioned that China's new export limits on critical minerals could strain trade ties and push the two countries closer to economic separation. That wraps up this week's political headlines. I'm Mary Owens. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
#49 News starts right now. I'm Emma Schneider here with your entertainment news.
I'm Laura Daly here with this week's weather update. We could see the clouds are moving in to the area as the night progresses.
I went out to find out what students really think.
Let's see what students at the University of Delaware have to say.
Here's what you can do to keep yourself safe during this holiday season.
Sadly, that is all we have for you tonight on 49 News.
It's back. We're back.
Penn Sport Night, your University of Delaware sports broadcasting show.
That team from Boston. Just because they got a leprechaun don't mean they're going to be lucky.
How has your experience been playing field hockey here?
How magical was the beginning of the season for you guys?
Who are you rooting for this World Cup?
Probably the USA or Scotland.
Watch the play. I don't think I've seen it though. Yeah, you can't guard them. That's not your body.
It's her first time in 10 years. So we're like kind of at the same level.
Welcome to Real Talk.
What is the best Halloween candy?
You had to play a song every time you came into the room. What song would it be?
This movie's bonkers. Let's get right into that.
Yeah. Do you guys like pickles?
No. I love pickles. I'm so excited. You see Kanye West as this icon, as this person, and he said some anti-Semitic things. So it's like, how do you deal with it?
There's nothing scarier than a student-run television show with an audience of 13.
Do you mean bi-weekly?
Don't they look stunning?
What?
I don't want to hold you back. Ow!
What now?
McKinley! Shut the hell up!
Let me just leave these babies here, Ricky, while I head on up to the saloon for the hour. I'm just gonna...
I've been your host, Lauren Kapp, and this is the Bi-Weekly Show.
A shooting in Wilmington last Wednesday left one teen dead and another in critical condition. Police say the victims were 16 and 17 years old, both students from the Newark area. The Christina School District released a statement expressing condolences and support for the families. Authorities are continuing to investigate the incident. Three 17-year-old Odessa High School students were arrested and charged with the robbery of a fellow high school student last Wednesday. The incident occurred during the early afternoon in one of the school's restrooms, where police said the victim was pinned against the wall and removed of all of his personal belongings. The victim left the scene unharmed, and the suspects have since been released on unsecured bonds. In other news, the entertainment world has been busy. Let's hear more about it from Danielle.
Thanks, Olivia. Now shifting gears, let's take a look at what has been making headlines in the vast world of entertainment. We start off with some sad news tonight. This past Saturday, Oscar-winning actress Diane Keaton has passed away at the age of 79. Keaton was best known for her roles in Annie Hall, The Godfather series, and Something's Gotta Give. Over her decades-long career, she became one of Hollywood's most beloved and unique talents. At this time, no cause of death has been disclosed. Her family has asked for privacy, and tributes are already pouring in from all corners of the industry. Her impact on film will be remembered for generations. But as the entertainment world continues to move forward, there's still plenty making headlines this week. Netflix's latest installment in the Monster series goes even darker with Monster, the Ed Gein story, which explores the story of the infamous 1950s killer known for grave robbery and twisted experiments. Starring actor Charlie Hunnam, the series portrays Gein's troubled upbringing and how his crimes inspired horror films such as The Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho. While the show has sparked discussions about its portrayal of real-life events, it offers viewers a closer look at the circumstances that shaped Gein's life, prompting conversations about crime and its impact on popular culture. Staying on the topic of Netflix, fans of the hit series Stranger Things are eagerly awaiting the fifth and final series of premiere on November 26th. The new season promises the thrilling twists, supernatural chills, and fan-favorite characters that made the show a worldwide sensation. All eyes will be on Eleven and the gang as they face new threats in the Upside Down. Now, staying on the streaming front, Netflix is not the only platform keeping fans busy this year. Taylor Swift is giving Swifties plenty to look forward to with a new Disney Plus docuseries and concert film. The End of an Era is a 6-part docuseries offering a behind-the-scenes look at her record-breaking Eras tour. The first 2 episodes will be dropping on December 12th, just a day before Swift's 36th birthday, with the remaining episodes following close after. And if you thought that was all, Disney Plus had up their sleeves. You are in for a treat because on the same day, they will also stream the concert film called Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour Final Show, filmed during her last tour in Vancouver. Switching from pop to rap, music headlines this week also include a legal twist. A federal judge has dismissed Drake's defamation lawsuit against his record label, Universal Music Group, over Kendrick Lamar's Grammy-winning diss track, Not Like Us. The ruling found Lamar's lyrics, which made an unverified claim about Drake, are protected as opinion, not fact, meaning the case against the label cannot proceed. Drake did not sue Lamar directly, and while he may appeal, the decision is being proclaimed as a major victory for Universal Group. Lastly, last night's episode of Dancing with the Stars did not disappoint as tears were drawn and special moments were had on dedication night. Dylan Efron climbed his way to the top of the leaderboard with a 36 out of 40 with a moving tribute with his little sister Olivia. Robert Irwin also delivered a touching contemporary number with his mother to the song You'll Be in My Heart, which had the crowd bawling their eyes out. But the biggest dedication of the night took place during eliminations, which it was revealed no one would be voted off and all couples will return next week as the votes and scores carry over. That is a wrap on entertainment tonight, but don't worry, there is always more to watch. Thank you, and back to Olivia with more news updates.
A nor'easter is striking the East Coast, bringing heavy rain, strong winds, and coastal flooding from the Carolinas to New England, causing road closures and flight delays. Meanwhile, in western Alaska, the remains of Typhoon Halong have swept away homes and villages, with rescue crews searching for up to 20 people possibly unaccounted for. Emergency declarations are in effect in New Jersey and parts of New York, and officials urged residents to stay off the roads as high tides and flash flooding continued Monday. But the storm is now moving out of the region as of tonight. Texas camp owners are asking for more time and flexibility to meet new safety regulations after the Camp Mystic flood that killed 27 people. The proposed rules include steep fee increases and extensive upgrades, which some camps say they can't afford. Parents of victims argue that safety must come before cost and convenience. State health officials plan to finalize the rules by January 1st, with camps expected to comply by 2026. Newark and much of the East Coast faced with their first nor'easter of the season this past weekend. The storm impacted the area with wind gusts of 30 to 50 miles per hour. Rain amounted to upwards of 2 inches, with places like coastal Delaware receiving more. Because of the storm, the Faith in Blue Festival that was scheduled to take place at Handloff Park on Sunday was canceled. Storm warnings were posted from the Carolinas all the way up to Maine. With storms coming to Newark, Sienna Casa has our local weather forecast.
Good evening, Newark. I'm meteorologist Sienna Casa with the weather. The National Flood Insurance Program has been hit heavily by the recent government shutdown, and it and many other programs ran out on September 30th. The National Association of Realtors estimates as many as 1,400 closings could be impacted each day. As a result, many homeowners may have to face Atlantic hurricane season with no flood insurance. Looking at the map, a small portion of our state is in bright yellow, meaning it is abnormally dry, with the rest in no sort of drought. Here are our local conditions. This afternoon, the temperature was leaning a bit cooler at 66 degrees. Right now, the temperature is definitely cooler at a brisk 57 degrees. And make sure to start the day off wearing a coat tomorrow morning because it will be 46 degrees. A nice cool morning for our mid-October season. Looking at the overnight forecast, it will be a clear night and the temperature will drop to a low of 51. The sun set a bit earlier than we are used to, around 6:25, and will rise again tomorrow morning at 7:11. Now let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow and Friday, we will reach highs in the mid-60s, with the mornings being chillier and closer to low 40s and 50s. We will reach high 70s on Sunday and Monday, and may reach some AM showers. However, Tuesday into the beginning of next week will be partly sunny with highs in the low 70s. Thank you for tuning into Blue Hen Weather, and see you next time.
Over the weekend, a typhoon in western Alaska left 1 person dead and 2 missing. This typhoon Halong ground hurricane, force winds, and destructive storm surges and floodwaters. Authorities said homes were swept away and over 50 people were rescued, including from rooftops. A United States Coast Guard official, Captain Christopher Culpepper, described the situation as an absolute devastation. Newly released police records reveal that the parents of Joshua John, the 29-year-old gunman who opened fire on a Dallas immigration facility on September 24th, said he appeared completely normal before developing fears of radiation sickness after moving to Washington state. Investigators say John had been wearing cotton gloves to avoid contact with plastic and practiced shooting with a new rifle in Oklahoma weeks before the attack. John killed 2 detainees and wounded another before taking his own life during the rooftop assault on the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement building.
4 people were killed and at least 20 others injured in a mass shooting at Willie's Bar and Grill on St. Helena Island, South Carolina, during a crowded alumni event. Authorities identified the victims and say they are still investigating, with several people of interest under review. The tragedy has shaken the historic Gullah community, with locals mourning the loss and calling for answers. A devastating explosion at a Tennessee explosives plant left 16 killed. The incident took place in the small rural town of Miswin at a plant owned by Accurate Energetic Systems. The company is a well-known explosive supplier for the military. On Monday, the 16 killed were identified, which included a local pastor amongst others in this tight-knit community. The blast was so powerful it was felt more than 20 miles away. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives has taken over the investigation, noting that debris and evidence is spread out over dozens of miles, leading to a prolonged investigation.
Donna Adelson, the matriarch of a wealthy South Florida family who was convicted in the hired killing of her former son-in-law, was sentenced Monday to life in prison for her role in the 2014 murder of Daniel Markle. Adelson is the 5th person sentenced for what prosecutors say was a plot to kill Markle. Among those already serving a life sentence for the killing in Adelson's son, Charles Adelson. SpaceX launched another one of its Starship rockets on a test flight Monday, successfully making it halfway around the world while releasing mock satellites like last time. Starship is the biggest and most powerful rocket ever built. It was the 11th test flight for the full-scale Starship, which SpaceX founder and CEO Elon Musk intends to use to send people to Mars. SpaceX is modifying its Cape Canaveral launch sites to accommodate Starships, in addition to the much smaller Falcon rockets used to transport astronauts and supplies to the International Space Station for NASA.
At the University of Delaware, caffeine has become a daily essential for many students juggling classes, jobs, and everything else college has to offer. Jessica Nemec goes out to see what college students really think about their caffeine habits.
Early classes, late-night study sessions, and everything in between. For many college students, caffeine isn't just a preference, it's a lifeline. Whether it's coffee, energy drinks, or even caffeinated snacks, students across campus are turning to caffeine to stay sharp and focused. Here at the University of Delaware, we talked to some students about why they drink coffee, their opinions on coffee, and some of their favorite coffee spots on campus.
My favorite spot is either Dunkin' or Brouhaha.
I like this Dunkin'.
Dunkin'. Starbucks is too expensive.
I'd probably say this Dunkin' because it's so close to where I live.
I think caffeine helps students to stay energized throughout the day, like a pick-me-up. Some people don't need it. I've been drinking coffee since probably freshman year of high school, so if I don't have it, I feel exhausted.
I think something that I live by is everything in moderation. So I think when you're drinking coffee, if you need it, that's great, but I definitely have a roommate that needs it to live and be a working human being every day, and I think that's definitely something that's really scary, and I felt myself fall into that over the summer with my internship.
It's something to keep you going when, it's you have a long day ahead of you. You might need that extra boost.
Not only did college students give us some insight onto their coffee habits and opinions, but we also talked to Matthew of Bing's Bake and Brew to get a professional insight on caffeine in college students.
My name is Matthew Guzzi. I worked here since we opened up back in December 2019. I'd probably say about 85–90% of the people we see come in here are definitely college-age students. All the, going to classes, essays, everything else, late-night studies. A lot of kids just come in just to study, get a coffee in between classes, so it definitely plays a big role in a lot of people's lives, I say. We also have a great, clientele that comes in and we talk to them. They just, they love their Bing's coffee, so it's definitely nice to get to know all of them and be involved with them as well.
Of course, coffee isn't just about the caffeine, it's a culture. And students have their go-to spots to sip, study, and socialize. So whether it's for the energy boost, the atmosphere, or just the ritual of that first sip, caffeine clearly plays a big role in campus life. For 49 News, I'm Jessica Nemec.
With Halloween approaching, Arkansas officials are warning parents about THC-infused products that look like regular candy. The state began enforcing a ban in July after a rise in children being hospitalized from accidental ingestion. Some of these unregulated products contain dangerously high THC levels and mimic popular snacks, making them easy to mistake. Arkansas Tobacco Control is launching a public awareness campaign to help families spot and avoid these harmful items. Americans are predicted to spend $3.9 billion on Halloween candy this year. In the United States, Halloween ranks second in consumer spending on treats, gifts, and decorations following Christmas. 96% of households plan to buy candy for Halloween in 2025. The #1 selling candy is chocolate with candy corn close behind. With a variety of options, there is something for everyone to enjoy on this spooky holiday. California resident Brandon Dawson won the 52nd World Championship Pumpkin Weigh-Off in Half Moon Bay, California with a 2,346-pound pumpkin. Dawson has been growing large pumpkins for 5 years and was the runner-up in last year's competition, losing only by 6 pounds. He is taking home a $20,000 prize for this year.
Due to the international tariffs, your Halloween costumes might be more expensive than you think. Lorenzo Caltagirone, owner of the costume company Total Party, says he had to pay 15% to 20% more for merchandise compared to last year. Unfortunately, this will bring up consumer prices for this holiday season. As October is about halfway over, it is time to start thinking of the big question. What are you going to be for Halloween? Sophia Broxson shows us what is popular this season and where you can find your costume.
With Halloween creeping right around the corner, it is time to start planning out your costume. We asked students if they have had their idea already figured out or if they're going to be doing a last-minute DIY.
So my roommates and I, I'm in a triple and we're doing Kiss, Marry, Kill, so I'm going to be Mary and have a bride outfit on and stuff. And then I also wanted to be a leopard.
I'm being a deer.
I'm gonna be Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights.
Maybe just throw a jersey on.
I'm gonna be Tramp, from Lady and the Tramp.
The rat from Ratatouille.
Indiana Jones and a genie.
I'm gonna be Beetlejuice.
I'll be a firefighter.
Have you bought your costume yet?
Nope.
Do you know where you're gonna buy it from?
Amazon.
Maybe Windsor or like Amazon, maybe Shein. You know?
Yeah, Amazon, Shein, all of that.
For your Halloween.
Shein, I fear. I bought it on Amazon. Each piece had to be like bought separately.
I bought it from, I think, Walmart. I bought it last year, but I didn't wear it last year, so I'm gonna use it this year.
I haven't bought it. I have to make it.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna get like a fuzzy gray hoodie, make my face look a little dirty, put one of those on.
Whether it's the Spirit Halloween, the 5 and 10 on Main Street, or online distributors like Amazon or Shein, there are many different options where you can go to find the perfect pieces to complete your Halloween costume. For 49 News, I'm Sophia Broxson.
Well, forget about Halloween costumes. I'm stuck on Halloween candy still. So I don't know about your favorite, but I love chocolate.
I also love chocolate. I'm a big fan of Reese's.
I like Twix and Kit Kats too.
Those are pretty
I
yummy.
feel like they're more popular, definitely more chocolate than the other candy like Skittles. Or, yeah.
I agree. That's all the news we have for you tonight, Newark. Make sure to keep up with us on socials at 49 News.
Our next show is in 3 weeks on November 5th. Same time, same place. I am Danielle Weinhofer.
And I am Olivia Spinagle. Have a great night and stay safe, Newark.